day of tiring sit-ins in Greensboro. Jazz music playing, humans segregating one another, Ella Baker creating a revolutionary act. Ella Josephine Baker was passionate about fighting for people's rights. She was told many stories by her grandmother about slave revolts and how she was whipped without mercy by her owner because she refused to be part of an arranged marriage. This inspired Ella to keep fighting for herself, for her loved ones, for her people. Would you be content if someone you're extremely close to and love very much was treated like a machine and even an animal? Baker wasn't.
Because of Ella Baker participating in various organizations for more than 50 years, she helped fight and demolish inequality. Baker was born on December 13, 1903 in Norfolk, Virginia. Ever since she was a little girl, she knew all about the segregation going on around her. She challenged unfair policies while attending Shaw University and ran a voter registration campaign called the Crusade for Citizenship. Baker viewed young generations as a resource and an advantage to the movement because they could last longer and fight harder while creating a powerful impact due to their strength and age. Miss Baker organized a reunion at Shaw University for student leaders of the sit-ins in April of 1960. The Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, which helped create Freedom Summer, was formed because of the 1960 meeting.
After graduating in 1927 as class valedictorian, she moved to a city with loud honking, streets filled with cars, thousands of people walking on the sidewalk and crossing streets. Ella Baker was an outstanding human, joining different organizations like the Young Negroes Cooperative League and In Friendship to raise money for the fight against the Jim Crow laws. She then moved to Atlanta to help one of the most well-known people, Martin Luther King.
I have a dream today.
She helped Martin with the corporation's Southern Christian Leadership Conference.
The Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party was placed in 1964 as a substitute to the state's Democratic Party, which had segregationist views. The MFDP tried to get their delegates to serve as a successor for the Mississippi delegates at the National Democratic Convention in Atlantic City that same year too. While being unsuccessful, the MFDP's action brought an enormous amount of attention to their cause.
When the Jim Crow laws took place, it banned blacks and whites to marry each other and live in the same neighborhoods. African Americans were not allowed to attend white schools, public restrooms, transportation, and hospitals. In 1916, African Americans began moving in large numbers from the South toward large urban centers in the North and West for better opportunities for themselves and their families.
The civil rights movement was organized by African Americans in order to achieve equality between blacks and whites and put an end to segregation. Many African Americans participated in nonviolent protests, such as the sit-ins, when African American would sit in an area like a diner where only whites were allowed. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibited discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin.
Ella Baker believed that voting was the key to freedom. Today, that is still the case. If we do not express our beliefs, we are unable to influence the policies and laws that impact our daily lives, such as voting rights, migration laws, freedom of speech, etc.
One thing that stops youth from voting is that they don't feel prepared or have little to no knowledge about the propositions on a ballot. Ella, by giving lectures about human rights, opened the minds of many youth members, which allowed them to take a decision and have a clear mindset on why they should vote. Baker utilized her skills, experience, and contacts to plan events, identify and establish protests and campaigns, and select and train various individuals to lead them, like Joan of Arc.
Taken up by the Students for a Democratic Society, the vision inspired students throughout the 1960s and across the world. She inspired young adults to fight for their rights, which can be seen in today's politics. Students fighting for better gun protection, just like they did back during the sit-ins in Greensboro.
It takes organization. It takes dedication. It takes the willingness to stand by and do what has to be done when it has to be done. It has to.
Ella Baker says, "We who believe in freedom cannot rest." She was strong. She fought for what was right. A passionate black woman standing up for herself, for loved ones, for strangers. She fought so all races would be treated equally, no matter their beliefs, background, or sex.
Santa Claus